Welcome back to the Q Construction video series. This is episode 5, so if you haven't watched parts 1 to 4, go back and watch those first and you'll have a better idea then of where we are and what we're doing. If you're enjoying this video series, by the way, please like and subscribe and drop a comment. And if there's anything you'd like to see, let me know. We'll try and get that in as well. So the last time we left this, we're at this point. So the Q is at the plain ebony butt stage. You know, you could quite happily leave it like this now. Pop a ferrule on, taper the shaft properly, add a joint in the bottom, finish it off, and it's good to go. But we're not going to do that. We're going to add some decorative splices to this. Decorative splicing is exactly that. It's decorative. It doesn't add any functional purpose at all. Occasionally, you might use a timber that's very lightweight to try and push the balance of the Q further forward, and we don't need to do that in this instance. The Q's only been part weighted at the moment and it's balanced nicely. So we're just going to add 4 splices. I'll bring you over to the bench and so you can see how we're going to prepare those, and we may add some veneers as well. But yeah, so this is part of the video series where we're just going to do some decorative work. So I picked out some timber to add to the bottom of this Q. I thought we'd go with Olivewood. So Olivewood's beautiful stuff. It smells really nice when you're working it as well, which is always a bonus. But like I say, we've got the Q down to this point. It's ready to add the secondary splicing. So we've got a couple of nice pieces here. Obviously we're not going to have the splices as long as this. They're only going to go to around there, so we'll cut this piece off and then mark it up like I have with this one. So this has been planed on 2 sides. It's just perfectly smooth. We'll cut the wedges like we did in at the start of this video series for the ebony splicing, and then basically it's just kind of rinse and repeat. So we do exactly the same as we did for the main splices, but obviously they're going to be a little bit shorter. So we'll just mark off where we need them to be, start to cut the flats, cut the timber, and then it's good to go on. Olivewood's one of those timbers which it looks great without any veneers. So I'm not sure if I'm going to add veneers to this or not. My thinking is that I won't, and then I might add another smaller splice on the front, something like snakewood or amboina burr, something like that. But for now, we'll cut these wedges and then start to work on the splicing. So we've got the first 2 splices on, so now we'll do exactly the same as we've just done. So we'll cut the flats on the other side and glue the other pieces of olive wood on. There you go, so that's the flats cut. So now we'll glue the olive wood on and then work it round again. So as you can see, we've got the 4 olive wood splices on now. So we're going to do exactly what we did in the last part of the video. So we're just going to turn a small section, a couple of inches here, just turn it round, get it down to slightly oversized, and then we can take it back to the bench and plane off the corners and start to work down to the round point. So there it is round. So now we'll just plane off the corners and just start working it down exactly the same as we did when we did the primary splices. And then we'll cut a flat on the front and put a smaller splice on the front then. Again, just decorative, but should make it look really good. So start to take these off and then we'll go back over to the lathe to finish it off. So that's it sanded. We're not at a point where it's actually totally finished yet, so we've still got some adhesive. I don't know if you can see that just in the gap between the splices there. So that just needs to be worked off, but we're still slightly oversized. But what we'll do next, we'll put a small front splice on. So this is the facing splice of the queue. So we've got some snakewood here, obviously way too big, but I'll cut this off. So we'll just mark on here where we want to go. So we'll go up to about there, and then we can cut this. It's only a thin piece of snakewood, but because we're going to put a flat on the bottom of the queue to hold the badge, it doesn't need to be a full thickness splice really. So we'll just cut this off where it needs to be, so we leave it slightly oversized. We can cut that off there, and then just like we did for the ebony splices and the olivewood splices, it's just a question of cutting another flat, obviously only one this time, and then fitting the piece of snakewood, and then doing the same thing as we've done so far. Round it off again, and then it will be ready. It will be down to its ready to go down to its final size then. So that's just about the end of part 5 of this series. So you can see all the splicing, all the decorative splicing's on. Olivewood's looking really nice, and then you can't really beat snakewood. Snakewood looks fantastic. So still rough on the front there, but that's only because we put a relatively thin piece of snakewood on, and obviously this is going to have a flat cut on it now before we fit the badge. So look out for part 6. That'll be coming up shortly, and that's where we're going to do all the kind of all the metal work then, if you like. So we'll fit the ferrule, we'll fit the brass joint, put some weight, some additional weight in because it's still pretty light at the moment. Take a look actually, see how light it is. May even fit a 3/4 joint to help pull the balance forward a little bit. Not that this is particularly badly balanced at all. It's nice, but yeah. So that's where we're at so far, and I hope you'll agree it's looking pretty good. So yeah, look out for part 6. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It all helps. Leave a comment, and if there's anything else you'd like to see, just let me know. I'll catch up with you again in part 6.